The woman in Ji-hoon's bed turned slowly, like she had all the time in the world. Dark hair sliding across silk pillows. That familiar mole above her left eyebrow. The silver nose ring Valerie had watched her put in every night before their shift. Mina. Not some elegant stranger. Not Ji-hoon's secret lover. Her best friend. Wearing his shirt like a victory flag. Valerie's knees nearly gave out. The room tilted. Somewhere distantly she heard her own voice, thin, broken, barely recognizable. "What did you do?" Mina didn't even flinch. She sat up slowly, adjusting the shirt, his shirt, with the kind of casual ease that made Valerie want to scream. "You weren't supposed to see this," Mina said. Not apologetic. Not defensive. Just matter of fact. "See what?" Valerie's voice cracked. "You fucking him? You lying to me? Which part wasn't I supposed to see?" Mina's eyes, those same eyes that had looked at her with friendship, with warmth, were empty now. "Cold. All of it," she said softly. "You were never supposed to matter. This wasn't happening. This couldn't be happening." Mina, who bought her coffee when she was too broke to eat. Mina, who covered her shifts when exams crushed her. Mina, who warned her about Ji-hoon with those big, concerned eyes. All of it. Every laugh, every shared secret, every "I've got your back, girl." Lies. All lies. The bedroom door opened wider. Ji-hoon stepped through, phone in hand, still looking down at the screen. He was in a black t-shirt and dress pants, casual, like he'd just gotten home. His hair was slightly damp. He'd showered. He looked up. And stopped. The phone slipped from his fingers. Hit the hardwood floor with a crack that echoed in the suddenly too small room. His eyes moved from Valerie to Mina and back again. And for the first time since she'd met him, this man who commanded rooms, who made people flinch with a look, he looked lost. "Who brought you here?" His voice was quiet. Dangerous. Not "What are you doing here?" Not "Let me explain." Who brought you here? Like someone had set a trap, and she'd walked right into it. "Does it matter?" Valerie's laugh was bitter, broken. "I saw enough." "You saw nothing," Ji-hoon said. "Tell her the truth, Ji-hoon." Mina's voice was silk and poison. "Or I will." Valerie didn't wait to hear which one would break her heart first. She turned and walked out of that bedroom, down that hallway, through that penthouse that smelled like expensive cologne and lies. She didn't run. Didn't cry. Didn't let them see her shatter. She saved that for the elevator. The doors closed. The cables groaned. And Valerie finally let herself break. She slid down the mirrored wall, knees pulled to her chest, and sobbed so hard she thought her ribs might crack. Somewhere above her, Ji-hoon was explaining. Or Mina was confessing. Or they were laughing at how easy she'd been to fool. It didn't matter anymore. She'd been a decoy. A distraction. A stupid, naive girl who thought a man like that could actually care. The elevator hit the ground floor. Valerie wiped her face, stood up, and walked out into the Seoul night. Alone. Again. Always. 3 days passed like 3 years. Valerie didn't go to class. Didn't answer her phone. Didn't leave her tiny apartment except to buy instant ramen and bottled water from the convenience store downstairs. Her phone kept lighting up. 47 missed calls. 63 texts. All from Ji-hoon. She deleted them without reading. On the 4th day, the messages started coming from unknown numbers. "You don't know what you saw." She blocked it. Another number. "Ask yourself, why was Mina really there?" She blocked that one too. Another. "Check the news." Club Azure. "Then ask me." Her hands shook as she opened her browser. The headline hit her like a fist. Raid on Gangnam nightclub uncovers money laundering operation. Club Azure. Crime scene tape. Police hauling out boxes of documents. The article mentioned ongoing investigations into organized crime connections and several persons of interest under surveillance. Ji-hoon's name wasn't mentioned, but she knew. His empire was collapsing. And Mina? Vanished. No one at the club had seen her. Her apartment was empty. Her phone went straight to voicemail. It was like she'd never existed. Valerie sat on her floor, surrounded by empty ramen cups and unwashed laundry, and tried to make sense of anything. Park Sung-ho said she was a decoy, a shield for Ji-hoon's real woman. But if Mina was that woman, why did Ji-hoon look so shocked to see her in his bed? Why did he ask who brought her there? Why did Mina look at Valerie with such cold, calculated satisfaction? Nothing added up. Another text. He's under investigation. Phone confiscated. These messages aren't from him. Trust no one. K. Chief Security Officer Kong. The one who'd sent the car that night. Valerie stared at her screen. If Jihoon's phone was confiscated, then who was sending those other messages? Who wanted her to keep asking questions? And why? Jihoon cornered her outside campus on a gray Tuesday morning. She was walking to her first class in a week, hoodie pulled up, eyes down. Trying to disappear. A hand caught her elbow. She spun, ready to scream. It was him, but not the Jihoon she knew. This one looked haunted. Dark circles under his eyes. A cut above his left eyebrow, still healing. His expensive suit replaced with jeans and a leather jacket. He looked human. "We need to talk," he said. "Let go of me. Valerie, please. 5 minutes. I don't owe you 5 seconds. His jaw tightened. "You're in danger. From you? From the people who think you know something you don't." His grip loosened but didn't release. Mina wasn't who she said she was. None of this was what you think. Then what was it? Enlighten me. Not here. He glanced around. Somewhere private. Every instinct screamed at her to walk away. To never look at him again. But her hands were shaking. And she was so tired of being afraid. "1 coffee," she said. "You get 10 minutes. Then I never want to see you again." Something painful crossed his face. Deal. They ended up at a tiny cafe in Itaewon, the kind foreigners frequented. Anonymous. Safe. Jihoon ordered 2 Americanos without asking what she wanted. He remembered. That made it worse somehow. They sat across from each other, a chipped table between them. He looked at her like she was something precious he'd broken. "Mina worked as an informant," he said finally. "Not for me. Against me." Valerie's coffee stopped halfway to her lips. "What?" "She was paid to monitor me. Find weaknesses. Get close to anyone I showed interest in." His voice was flat. Controlled. But there was something underneath. Something raw. "When I started requesting you at the club, she was assigned to befriend you. To gather information. To report back to Park Sung-ho." The cup shook in Valerie's hands. "You're lying. I wish I was. The photo Park showed me. You and that woman. Staged. That was Park's associate. We were at a charity gala. The photo was cropped to make it look intimate. It wasn't." He leaned forward. "Everything Park told you was designed to break your trust in me. And it worked." Valerie set down her cup before she dropped it. "So you're the victim now? Is that what you're saying?" "No." His eyes met hers. "I'm the idiot who thought I could protect you by keeping you in the dark. I used the club as cover to track money laundering routes. My visits to you gave me a reason to be there without suspicion. At first, that's all it was. A convenient excuse. At first," she repeated bitterly. "And then you stopped my hand." The memory hit her like a slap. VIP room 3. His wrist under her fingers. The boundary she'd set. "That's when everything changed," he continued. "Because no one tells me no. No one sets rules for me. And you did it like it was the most natural thing in the world. Like I was just a man. Not a name. Not a reputation." His jaw tightened. "I kept coming back because I needed to understand what that felt like. To be seen. To be treated like I was human." He paused. "And then Park noticed. And you became his target. Not because you were my cover. Because you became the one thing I couldn't fake caring about." Valerie's throat closed. "So you used me," she whispered. "Just like everyone else." "I did." He didn't look away. "And I'm sorry. But my feelings for you? Those were never fake. That was the problem. Some problem. You have no idea." His voice dropped. "In my world, the people I care about become weapons. Park knew that. So he targeted you. And when that didn't work, he planted Mina in my apartment to destroy whatever trust we had left." Valerie's head was spinning. How did she get in? Someone with access let her in. Someone who knew I'd be away. Who knew you'd be called there. His expression darkened. "I'm still trying to figure out who. And you expect me to believe all this? To just trust you?" "No." Jihoon stood. Threw cash on the table. "I expect you to investigate. You're smart. You don't take anyone at their word. So don't take mine." He pulled a business card from his pocket. Slid it across the table. "Club Azure. Security office. The manager left the computer on when they fled. Check the footage from that night. See what time I actually arrived at my apartment." He turned to leave. Stopped. "I'm sorry," he said without looking back. "For all of it. For using you. For caring. For being too late to stop what happened next." Then he was gone. Valerie sat there, staring at the business card, wondering if she was about to make the stupidest decision of her life. The club was closed. Crime scene tape across the doors. Valerie picked the back lock with a bobby pin, something Mina had taught her, back when she thought they were friends. Back when she thought she knew anything at all. Inside, the silence was oppressive. No music. No lights. Just emergency exit signs casting everything in sickly green. The manager's office was unlocked. Computer still on, like whoever ran hadn't even bothered to shut it down. Valerie's hands shook as she pulled up the security files. There. October 17th. The night she'd walked in on Mina. She fast-forwarded. Lobby camera. 8:47 p.m. Valerie enters. Looks destroyed. Gets in elevator. 8:52 p.m. Elevator reaches penthouse floor. She skipped ahead. Kept watching. 11:34 p.m. Jihoon's car pulls into garage. 11:39 p.m. Jihoon enters building. Heads to elevator. 11:41 p.m. Elevator arrives at penthouse floor. 3 hours. He'd arrived 3 hours after she left. Which meant Valerie's breath caught. Mina was already there. Alone. Waiting in his bed wearing his shirt. Someone had let her in. Someone who had access. Who knew Valerie would be called there. Who wanted her to see exactly what she saw. Her stomach turned. This wasn't an affair. This was a setup. She rewound. Watched again. Looking for anything she'd missed. There. 7:15 p.m. Before Valerie even got the text. A figure entering through the service entrance. Female. Dark hair. Mina. She used a keycard. Went straight to the private elevator. Valerie zoomed in on the timestamp. 2 hours before the text was sent to Valerie. 2 hours before Chief Security Officer Kong summoned her. Someone planned this. Meticulously. But who? She clicked through other folders. Personnel files. Financial records. And there, buried in a subfolder marked Club Operations. A flash drive icon. Labeled Backup Mina's locker. Valerie's hand hovered over the mouse. She clicked. Files opened. Dozens of them. Photos. Of her. Walking to campus. Studying in the library. Dancing at the club. Buying groceries. Months of surveillance. Her university schedule. Class list. Professor names. Financial records. Her student loans. Bank statements. Everyone she owed. And a document titled Project Amara. She opened it. Her stage name. Her real name. Her mother's name. And notes. Coded. But clear enough. Subject responds to financial pressure. Tuition vulnerability exploited. Recommend continued surveillance. Relationship with Kim Jihoon developing as predicted. Phase 2. Isolation and manipulation. The file was addressed to Park Sung-ho, but copied to someone else. A name she recognized. Professor Han. Valerie's vision blurred. Her professor. Her advisor. Her mentor. He was part of this. She kept scrolling. Found another document. Project Phoenix. Details linking Seoul National University's business department to shell companies. Money laundering. Tuition payments from international students processed through illegal channels. Professor Han recruited international students through scholarship programs funded by shell companies. Used their research to justify criminal enterprises. Trained them in his classes. And when they graduated, they were absorbed into the syndicate's operations. Valerie had been groomed. Without even knowing it, her research on East African markets, it was being used to establish new trafficking routes. Her financial analysis skills, they wanted her to become their accountant. Her mother's history, it made her controllable. Desperate. Perfect. Valerie downloaded everything onto a spare USB drive she found in the desk drawer. Then she ran. She found Jihoon at a warehouse in Yongsan. Industrial. Abandoned. The kind of place you went to disappear. He was on the phone when she arrived. Ended the call when he saw her. You came, he said. You were right. She threw the USB drive at him. He caught it. About all of it. She told him everything. The security footage. The surveillance photos. Project Amara. Professor Han. With each word, Jihoon's expression darkened. I'm sorry, he said when she finished. Stop apologizing. Her voice cracked. Just tell me why. Why me? What made me such a perfect target? Jihoon plugged the USB into a laptop. Opened the files. Studied them in silence. Then he pulled up something else. A file she hadn't seen. Because you weren't random, he said quietly. Look, it was a dossier. On her mother. Margaret Chin. Born in Seoul. Worked as an accountant for various businesses in Gangnam 26 years ago. And then immigration records. Deportation. Pregnant. Your mother, Ji-hoon said slowly, worked for Park Sung-ho's father. She discovered what they were doing. The trafficking. The drugs. The murders. She tried to turn them in. Valerie's hands went numb. They had her deported before she could testify. Destroyed her credibility. Made sure no one would believe her. He looked at Valerie. She raised you in another country. Built a life. And somehow you ended up right back here. In Seoul. In the same world she tried to escape. Park's been watching me since I arrived, Valerie whispered. Yes. Waiting to see if you were a threat like your mother. When I showed interest in you, Park saw an opportunity. Use you to destroy me. If he couldn't kill you, he'd use you as a weapon. The room spun. Everyone used me, she said. All of you. No. Ji-hoon crossed the space between them. You became the one thing none of us could control. He was close now. Too close. She could smell cedar and smoke. I lost someone once, he said quietly. Someone I cared about. I used her as bait without telling her. She died because I thought I could control everything. I swore I'd never make that mistake again. His eyes met hers. But with you, I did. And I'm sorry. Valerie's chest tightened. What happened to her? Park Sung-ho killed her. To hurt me. To prove he could. His jaw clenched. Her name was Mina. She was my fiancée. And I got her killed because I was arrogant enough to think my power could protect her. The confession hung between them, raw and bleeding. That's why I tried to push you away, he continued. Why I offered to pay your tuition and disappear. Because history was repeating and I couldn't, his voice broke. I couldn't watch you die too. Valerie's vision blurred. I'm not her. I know. I'm not some helpless victim who needs saving. I know that too. Then stop trying to protect me. She stepped closer. If you really care, treat me like an equal. Give me the truth. All of it. And let me decide what I want to do with it. Something shifted in his expression. Surprise. Respect. Hope. Okay, he said. The truth. Park Sung-ho is planning something big. The raid on the club was just the beginning. He's trying to collapse my entire network. Take over everything. And he won't stop until I'm dead or broken. Why? Because my father killed his father. 20 years ago. Business dispute. And Park spent his entire life planning revenge. Ji-hoon pulled out his phone. Showed her photos. Documents. There's a syndicate above us. Above Park, above me, above everyone. They're the real power. And they're using this war between us to consolidate control. When we destroy each other, they'll take everything. So what do? He raised an eyebrow. You said treat me like an equal. So I'm in. What do? Ji-hoon studied her for a long moment. Then he smiled. Not the predatory smile from the club. Something genuine. Warm. We burn it all down, he said. The syndicate. Park. Professor Han. All of it. How? With what you're good at. Numbers. Finance. You trace the money. Find where it's really going. Expose the whole operation. He handed her the laptop. Can you do that? Valerie looked at the screen. Financial records. Shell companies. Offshore accounts. This was her element. Her skill. Yes, she said. I can do that. Then let's get to work. They spent hours in that warehouse. Side by side. Valerie tracking money flows through dozens of shell companies while Ji-hoon cross-referenced names and addresses. The tension between them was different now. Not just attraction. Respect. Partnership. Equals. At some point, their shoulders touched. Neither pulled away. Thank you, Ji-hoon said quietly. For what? For not running. For being brave enough to come back. I'm not brave. I'm angry. Anger's a kind of bravery. She glanced at him. Found him already looking at her. The space between them felt charged. Electric. He lifted his hand. Slowly. Giving her time to pull away. She didn't. His palm cupped her face. Warm. Steady. If we survive this, he said, can I take you somewhere? Somewhere that's not a club or a crime scene or a warehouse. Like a date. Like a life. Her breath caught. Ask me again when we're not about to die. Deal. His thumb brushed her cheek. And for one perfect, impossible moment, everything else fell away. Then her phone buzzed. Unknown number. You're looking in the wrong place. The answer isn't in the money. It's in the students. M. Valerie's blood went cold. What is it? Ji-hoon asked. She showed him the screen. M, he read. Mina. She's alive. The text included an address. A cafe in Hongdae. It's a trap, Jihoon said. Obviously. So we don't go. Valerie looked at him. The message says the answer is in the students. What if she knows something? What if she's trying to help? Or kill you? One way to find out. Jihoon's jaw tightened. I'm coming with you. She won't talk if you're there. Then I'll wait outside. Close enough to help if things go wrong. Valerie wanted to argue. But the truth was she was terrified. Okay, she said. But stay hidden. The cafe was crowded. Students everywhere. Laptops and coffee and loud K-pop. Mina sat in the back corner. Alive. Unharmed. Wearing a baseball cap and oversized jacket. She looked up when Valerie approached. Smiled. Like they were still friends. You came, Mina said. What do you want? To apologize. Valerie laughed. Cold. You set me up. Destroyed my trust in Jihoon. Worked for Park Sung-ho. And now you want to apologize. I didn't work for Park. Mina's smile faded. I worked for myself. What does that mean? It means I played both sides. Took money from Park to spy on Jihoon. Took money from Jihoon's enemies to feed them information. Took money from the syndicate to keep quiet about what I knew. She leaned forward. But I kept records. Of everything. Everyone. Every transaction, every meeting, every dirty secret. Why? Insurance. When this war ends, someone's going to win. And I wanted to make sure I was valuable enough to survive. Valerie felt sick. You're a mercenary. I'm a survivor. Same as you. Mina pulled a USB drive from her pocket. Set it on the table. This is everything. Names. Accounts. Locations. The entire syndicate structure. Who they are. What they control. How deep it goes. Why give it to me? Because you're the only one stupid enough to use it. Jihoon's too compromised. Park's too obsessed with revenge. But you. Mina's eyes glittered. You're the wild card. The one no one saw coming. You could actually burn this whole thing down. Valerie stared at the USB drive. What's in it for you? Freedom. When the syndicate falls, I disappear. New name. New life. No one left to come after me. She slid the drive closer. Take it. Do what needs to be done. And we're even. We'll never be even. I know. For the first time, something like regret crossed Mina's face. For what it's worth. I did like you. That part wasn't fake. Valerie's hand closed around the USB drive. The students, she said. You said the answer is in the students. What did you mean? Professor Han doesn't just launder money through international students. He recruits them. The ones with skills. The ones with nothing to lose. He makes them part of the system. And when they graduate, Mina's smile was bitter. They become the next generation of the syndicate. Your entire program is a training ground for. The window exploded. Not shattered. Exploded. Glass became shrapnel. The world became noise. Mina's eyes went wide. Her mouth formed a perfect O of surprise. Then red. So much red. She dropped. Not gracefully. Not like in movies. She just collapsed. Puppet with cut strings. A hole. Right between her eyes. Another shot punched through the wall 6 inches from Valerie's head. That broke the paralysis. She dove. Behind the overturned table. Knees screaming. Hands scrabbling against tile. Another shot. The espresso machine exploded. People were screaming. Running. Chaos everywhere. Move. Move. She crawled, glass tearing through jeans, cutting palms, blood on floor mixing with Mina's blood. Door. Get to the door. She lunged. Threw herself into the street. Arms caught her. Strong. Familiar. Jihoon. I've got you, he said. Run. They ran. Through Hongdae streets. Past neon signs and street vendors and startled pedestrians. Behind them, sirens wailed. Jihoon pulled her into an alley. Against a wall. Breathing hard. Are you hurt? He checked her over. Hands on her face, her arms, searching for injuries. I'm fine. Mina. Is dead. She gave me this. Valerie held up the USB drive. Still clutched in her bloody palm. Everything. The syndicate. All of it. Jihoon stared at it. Then at her. We need to move, he said. They'll be looking for you. Where? Somewhere safe. Somewhere I can protect you until. No. Valerie's voice was steel. No more hiding. No more protection. We use this. We end this. Tonight. Valerie. She died giving me this. Mina, for all her lies, she died trying to help. I'm not wasting that. Ji-hoon studied her face. Saw the determination. The fury. The grief. Okay, he said finally. Then we finish it. The safe house was small. 1 room. 1 bed. Bare walls and a single window overlooking the Han River. Valerie sat at a makeshift desk, a door propped on cinder blocks, while Ji-hoon stood guard by the window. She plugged in Mina's USB drive. Files opened. Hundreds of them. Financial records. Communications. Photos. Videos. The entire syndicate laid bare. Names she recognized. Politicians. Business leaders. Police officials. And at the center of it all, Professor Han, Valerie whispered. Ji-hoon looked over her shoulder. The files showed everything. Han recruited international students through scholarship programs funded by shell companies. Used their research to justify criminal enterprises. Trained them in his classes. And when they graduated, they were absorbed into the syndicate's operations. Valerie had been groomed. Without even knowing it, her research on East African markets, it was being used to establish new trafficking routes. Her financial analysis skills, they wanted her to become their accountant. Her mother's history, it made her controllable. Desperate. Perfect. They were going to make me my mother, Valerie said, her voice hollow. Use me the same way they used her. And when I figured it out, they'd destroy me just like they destroyed her. Ji-hoon's hand found her shoulder. But you did figure it out. And you're still here. Still fighting. Because of you. No. Because of you. He turned her chair to face him. Crouched down. I level. I gave you information. But you're the one who investigated. Who put the pieces together. Who chose to come back instead of running. That's all you, Valerie. Not me. Her eyes burned. I'm scared. Good. Fear keeps you alive. Mina's dead. I know. She died because of this. Because of me. She died because the syndicate doesn't let loose ends survive. His voice gentled. But her death won't be meaningless. We're going to use what she gave us. We're going to end this. How? Ji-hoon stood. Pulled out his phone. Started making calls. Prosecutor Kim. Financial Crimes Unit. Federal investigators. People he'd cultivated over years. People who owed him favors. People who wanted to take down the syndicate as much as they did. We leak everything, he said. Tonight. To multiple sources simultaneously. Media. Police. International authorities. We make it impossible to contain. They'll come after us. Yes. We could die. Yes. He looked at her. I can still get you out. Put you on a plane. Erase your records. You'd be free. Safe. You could finish your degree somewhere else. Live your life. Valerie thought about it. Really thought about it. She could run. Leave Seoul. Leave this nightmare. Go back to being just a student. Just a survivor. But her mother tried to run. And they still destroyed her life. Running didn't work. Not against people like this. No, Valerie said. I'm not running. My mother tried that, and they chased her for 26 years. I'm done being prey. I'm done being used. I want to fight. It's going to get ugly. It's already ugly. You could lose everything. I already have nothing. She stood. Faced him. But if we do this, if we take them down, maybe I can build something real. Something mine. Something they can't touch. Pride flickered across Ji-hoon's face. You're remarkable. I'm angry. Same thing sometimes. He held out his hand. Partners. She took it. Partners. Their fingers interlaced. His thumb brushed across her knuckles. The moment stretched. Heavy with everything unsaid. When this is over, Valerie said quietly, are you going to disappear? Do you want me to? No. The admission cost her. I want to see what we could be. Without all this. Without the danger and the lies and the survival. A normal life, Ji-hoon said. Something like that. I don't think I know how to be normal. Me neither. But maybe we could figure it out together. He stepped closer. His free hand lifted. Hovered near her face. Not quite touching. Waiting. For her. Always for her. Valerie leaned into his palm. His thumb brushed her cheek. Her eyes fluttered closed. When this is over, he murmured, I'm taking you somewhere beautiful. Somewhere without guns or blood or shadows. Somewhere we can just be. Promise. I promise. She believed him. Against all logic, all evidence, all history, she believed him. His forehead touched hers. They stood like that, breathing together. Not quite touching. Not quite apart. We should go, he said. One more stop before we release everything. Where? Professor Han's office. I want to look him in the eye when his world burns. Seoul National University was quiet at night. Just security guards and late-night students. Valerie and Ji-hoon walked across campus like they belonged there. Her hood up, his hands in his pockets. Professor Han's office was on the 3rd floor. Light still on. He was there, working late. Like always. Valerie knocked. Come in. She opened the door. Professor Han looked up. Smiled. The same warm, encouraging smile he'd always given her. Valerie, I've been worried. You've missed so many classes. His smile faded when Ji-hoon followed her in. Mr. Kim, this is unexpected. We know, Valerie said. About all of it. Han's expression didn't change. I'm sorry. The syndicate. The money laundering. The student recruitment program. Project Phoenix. She stepped closer. My mother. What they did to her. What you were going to do to me. Silence. Then Professor Han sighed. Closed his laptop. Leaned back in his chair. You were supposed to be easy, he said. Almost sadly. Desperate. Brilliant. Malleable. The perfect recruit. Your research was exceptional. Your skills exactly what we needed. And your history. He shook his head. Your mother's history made you sympathetic. Made you willing to work hard, to prove yourself. We could have offered you everything. Security. Wealth. Purpose. You could have offered me slavery, Valerie said. We prefer the term partnership. Is that what you told my mother before you had her deported? Han's smile turned cold. Your mother was idealistic. Naive. She thought she could take on the system and win. She couldn't. And neither can you. We'll see about that, Ji-hoon said quietly. Professor Han's eyes flicked to him. You've already lost, Mr. Kim. Your businesses are under investigation. Your associates are turning on you. Your protection is gone. And this girl? He gestured dismissively at Valerie. She's just collateral damage. She always was. You're wrong, Valerie said. I'm not collateral damage. I'm the one who's going to destroy you. She pulled out her phone. Showed him the screen. Upload complete. Files sent to 47 recipients. Han's face went white. Mina's files, Valerie said. Every transaction. Every name. Every dirty secret. It's already out there. Media. Police. International authorities. By morning, the entire world will know what the syndicate is. What you are. You stupid girl. Han stood. Do you have any idea what you've done? They'll kill you for this. They'll kill everyone you've ever. The office door burst open. Federal agents. Guns drawn. Professor Han, you're under arrest for money laundering, conspiracy, and racketeering. Han didn't resist. Just stared at Valerie with something like respect mixed with hatred. You're just like your mother, he said as they cuffed him. Brave and stupid. And you'll end up just like her. Destroyed. My mother survived, Valerie said. She built a life. She raised me. She won, Professor. And so will I. They dragged him away. Valerie's legs gave out. Ji-hoon caught her before she hit the floor. It's done, she whispered. It's really done. Not yet, Ji-hoon said. The syndicate's leadership is still out there. They'll retaliate. We need to move. Now. They went to the one place Ji-hoon thought was safe. A rooftop helipad on top of one of his buildings in Gangnam. A helicopter was waiting. Pilot ready. Escape route planned. Where will we go? Valerie asked. Jeju Island first. Then out of Korea entirely if we need to. I have properties in. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. He answered. Put it on speaker. Mr. Kim. The voice was distorted. Mechanical. You've made a terrible mistake. Who is this? The syndicate doesn't forgive. The syndicate doesn't forget. You've exposed our operations. You've cost us billions. And now you'll pay the price. Come find me then, Ji-hoon said. We already have. The helicopter's spotlight hit them like a physical blow. But it wasn't their helicopter. It was a military-grade assault chopper. Armed. Hovering 50 feet away. Get down. Ji-hoon shoved Valerie behind a ventilation unit. Pulled his gun. The first bullet pinged off metal inches from her head. Then chaos. Gunfire everywhere. Concrete exploding. The air tasted like smoke and copper. Ji-hoon fired back. Once. Twice. A body dropped from the helicopter's open door. But there were more. Too many. Rappelling down on lines. Black tactical gear. Professional. We have to move, he shouted. They ran. Across the rooftop. Toward the fire escape on the far side. Bullets traced their path. Sparks flying. Concrete chips cutting skin. Almost there. Ji-hoon jerked. Not violently. Just a small hitch in his step. He looked down. Red bloomed across his white shirt. Left side. Just below the ribs. No. Valerie's voice didn't sound like hers. No, no, no. He dropped to his knees. She caught him. Barely. His weight pulled them both down. His blood soaked through her shirt, her hands, too much blood. Ji-hoon. She pressed her hands to the wound. Crimson welled between her fingers. Stay with me. Do you hear me? Stay with me. His hand, shaking, slick with blood, cupped her face. Finish it, he whispered. Finish what? I don't. The syndicate. Han. All of it. His eyes were unfocused. Dimming. Promise me. I'm not promising you anything. You're not dying. You're not. His thumb brushed her cheek, smearing blood across her skin. I'm sorry, he breathed. For all of it. For using you. For caring. For not telling you sooner that you're the bravest person I've ever met. Ji-hoon, please. I love you, he said. Clear. Certain. Final. I should have said it before. I love you, Valerie Chin. His eyes closed. Jae-hoon. No response. His chest still rose and fell. Shallow. Too shallow. But alive. Still alive. Sirens screamed below. Getting closer. Valerie looked up. The helicopter was circling back. Men advancing across the rooftop. Guns raised. She had maybe 30 seconds. She looked at Ji-hoon's pale face. The blood pooling beneath him. Then at the gun that had fallen from his hand. Her fingers closed around it. Cold. Heavy. Wrong. But necessary. The helicopter's light found her again. She could surrender. Beg for mercy. Hope they'd let her live. But these people had tried to control her mother. Had used her entire life as a setup. Had killed Mina. Had shot the man she loved. They didn't deserve mercy. Valerie stood. The girl who'd walked into Club Azure in fishnets and heels was gone. The student who'd sat in the back of lecture halls, drowning in debt and fear, was gone. What rose in her place was something else entirely. Someone who'd survived everything they'd thrown at her. Someone who'd learned to fight back. Someone who was done being prey. The helicopter descended. Valerie didn't run. She raised the gun. Aimed. And fired. The spotlight exploded. The helicopter lurched. Pilot struggling for control. She fired again. And again. The helicopter spun. Tilted. Retreated. The men on the rooftop dove for cover. Valerie kept firing until the clip was empty. Then she dropped the gun. Fell to her knees beside Ji-hoon. Help is coming, she said, even though she didn't know if it was true. Just hold on. Please. Just hold on. His eyes fluttered open. Just for a second. Knew you could do it, he breathed. Then he was gone again. Sirens everywhere now. Police. Ambulances. Federal agents storming the rooftop. Valerie held Ji-hoon's hand as they surrounded them. Held it as paramedics rushed over. Held it as they loaded him onto a stretcher. I'm coming with him, she said. Not asking. Telling. No one argued. In the ambulance, racing through Seoul streets, Valerie watched Ji-hoon's chest rise and fall. Rise and fall. Still alive. Still fighting. You promised me somewhere beautiful, she whispered. You promised me a life. So you don't get to die. Do you hear me? You don't get to leave me now. His fingers twitched in hers. Just barely. But enough. She held on tighter. I love you too, she said. I should have said it before. I love you, Kim Ji-hoon. And I'm not letting you go. The ambulance screamed through the night. And Valerie held on. The syndicate's leaders were arrested within 48 hours. Professor Han received a 25-year sentence. Park Sung-ho was found dead in his cell before trial. Ji-hoon survived. Barely. And Valerie? She finished her degree. On her own terms. With no one's help. Exactly like she always wanted. 6 months later. Valerie stood on a beach in Jeju Island, waves crashing at her feet. She'd graduated 2 weeks ago. Top of her class. Full honors. No one at the ceremony knew what she'd done. What she'd survived. What she'd become. And that was exactly how she wanted it. Footsteps in the sand behind her. She turned. Ji-hoon walked toward her, moving carefully. Still healing. The scar under his ribs would never fully fade. Neither would hers. But they were alive. Together. Free. You promised me somewhere beautiful, Valerie said. I did. He reached her. Took her hand. Is this beautiful enough? She looked around. White sand. Blue water. No guns. No blood. No shadows. Just them. It's perfect, she said. He kissed her. Soft. Gentle. Real. Not the kiss of a crime boss and a dancer. The kiss of two people who'd survived hell and chosen each other anyway. When they broke apart, he smiled. So, he said. What now? Valerie looked out at the ocean. At the horizon. At the future stretching endlessly before them. Now. She squeezed his hand. Now we live. And they did.